Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Saturday, February 1st, 2025. On January 30th, Kash Patel began the confirmation hearings for the position that President Trump has asked that he be appointed to. And as I make this video, the confirmation is still, the results are still pending, but I wanted to take a look at a few elements of those confirmation hearings and just do a little digging. Now, understand that if I reference 17, it's because I use platforms that don't like that alphabet letter. So, and that's going to be part of this video. So follow along with me and be gracious about the use of the term 17 because that's how I have to do things until our world changes a little bit more. So let me take you to a few items that sparked some interesting chatter in the alt media community. And then we're going to see what the tarot has to tell us. Okay, so I'm going to take you to my page on the platform known as X, and we'll look at a few things I have there, and then we'll get into the read. Okay, first of all, let's get that out of there. Okay, these are photographs from the hearing and then a 17 post. And as you can see, there's an arrow pointing to some cufflinks, and here's a close-up of them. You can see that there's an American flag, and superimposed over the red and white stripes is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Very prominently shown during the confirmation hearings. Now, back in 2018, one of the 17 posts actually mentioned Mr. Patel, and it said, Cash App Patel, name to remember. I thought that was really interesting. And what's interesting is that he was asked during the confirmation hearings, he was asked by Senator Grassley if he aligned himself with QAnon. Well, this was what got the chatter going in the Anon community because we're told, first of all, trust Grassley. That was another 17 post from back in 2018. But here is from 17 Absolute Redux 76. He says, I like how Grassley was the first to ask Cash about QAnon. He, of course, asked him about that organization, 17 Anon, which we all know does not exist. There is 17. There are Anons. There is no 17 Anon, period. And if you know anything about that, that's absolutely true. So we were told to trust Grassley, and I think there maybe I'm going to ask if that was deliberate, asking him to comment and that way not perjure himself, asking about an organization called that because it does not exist. Now, farther down on my page, bear with me because I put a lot of stuff up, or it may be the other way. Okay, we're going up. I have a good summary of what's going on here as far as what that organization is. If you've been awake any length of time at all, you don't need to read this. But if you have any question about what 17 is or does or the purpose of it, I think this is a very good summary right here that I have. Okay. And it was created in the form of an open source intelligence analysis once the AI had been given a number of sources about this topic. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So we are told to trust Grassley. We are told, and he took it upon himself to be the first to ask about 17 Anon, which Kash Patel said he did not align himself with. Anybody can say that if it doesn't exist. So that's what I want to ask. Was that a deliberate phrasing to address the subject in a general way or a normie pleasing way, plus additional insights and information? I think despite I think it was a very wonderful way to do some nice sidestepping of this, but I think the cufflinks kind of tell the tale. And by the way, this is what's in a name is kind of the theme here. For this weekend, I've got another video that I'll be getting out to you that is also about what's in a name that I think is very topical, timely, and relevant. And so let's ask, though, again, what was going on? The person seen in the public eye as Kash Patel in his Senate confirmation hearings was asked by Senator Grassley about 17 and on, and he was able to distance himself and basically disavow it. Was that a deliberate phrasing and way to sidestep, uh, put the normies' fears and anxieties at ease? Plus additional insights and information will be appreciated. Let's switch the camera so you can watch me work with the cards and we'll find out together. Again, there is a yes or no element to this question, and we'll find out what that answer might be. So we're curious for an answer here. Was the phrasing and the fact that it was done by Senator Grassley, who 17 told us to trust, was that deliberate to alleviate some anxieties or, other non-nefarious intent, plus additional insights and information? I can't see why the intent would be at all nefarious. If you take the time to read those 5,000 plus posts, they don't advocate any sort of violence, but they do make you start thinking and tell you to start doing your own research and think for yourself, and all good advice that I think people really need to take to heart, especially if we're shaking off some programming. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups, lots of cups going on here. Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands. We have our yes here in the form of the Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, and Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's kind of a nice spread. Let's talk about that. Okay, first I'm going to just say what I'm getting intuitively, as well as the fact that we've already got a yes. It was very deliberate. The phrasing and use of the term that is bandied about in the mainstream media of that organization, as if there is an organization being 17 and on. And as there's not. There is the 17. I think it's a team, but it's simply a letter of the alphabet. Then there are regular people like myself who try to look for synchronicities between those posts and events, that kind of thing. Or, they may come at it another way. I don't know. I look for the synchronicities and the relevance as far as, 3 years ago to the day they talked about that. So that makes me an anon. We're just regular people that kind of add that as one of the layers we filter information through. So there's no organization, there's no sign-up sheet, there's no dues. So we have our yes, it was deliberate. And the purpose is he is actually fairly informed, and I don't want to say involved because I'm not getting an involvement card here, but definitely informed and not in any way negative towards those 17 posts at all, and probably is pretty aware of maybe who some of the players of 17 might be. So that's kind of interesting. So we've got that. We got a hard yes that was it. That's what's going on now. Let's take a look at some of the elements in the card and where they're placed and how that's giving us a little more information, especially our further insight card. And, for kicks and giggles, we'll get 2 more cards before we're done. I have no idea what they'll be right now. The Knight of Cups can be a little bit tricky. Okay. And this, I think, is indicating that because this is a hot topic item emotionally for people, especially the normies who've been programmed to think there's something really nefarious or sketchy about posts made by the 17 team. It was deliberate to just put the subject to rest in a non fallacious or false way. And we've got the smoke and mirrors card showing up here. So again, we got some deliberate. The wording and phrasing was deliberate and nothing nefarious about it. Just kind of like, let's set people's minds at ease. The Queen of Cups always talks about use some emotional intelligence as you, and also trust your discernment as you filter information. And I think that's a great card to come up because that's what I'm saying. Basically, the 17 posts tell us to do, use logic, use our emotional intelligence, use our discernment, and start peeling away some of the layers of falseness in what we're told is true and accurate or whatever. The Knight of Wands is showing up here, one of my not major white hat cards here, but just a lot of energy, forward motion, ready to take on challenges. And I think this is indicating what Kash Patel is poised to do, and he's poised to do it with the best of intentions and hopefully the best of results. Let's look at the near future. That's when it starts getting really interesting. First of all, we have Ace of Wands telling us, yes, 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 Laura. It was deliberate. That's why you were told in 117 post to trust Grassley. This was his moment. This was what we were told for. He may show up again doing something relevant for truth and justice and the sovereign American way, but this was one of his major moments. The Five of Wands tells me that there's still going to be a little question and answering and issues before the matter is resolved of the confirmation of Kash Patel. I don't see anything negative about it not happening. They're just at this point, there's a lot of grandstanding going on, like, well, we just don't feel good about it, and there's some of that going on, unfortunately. Wheel of Fortune. Our world is going from dark to light. So when the Wheel of Fortune shows up in any kind of a current events or political read, it is a good sign. So again, while there is still some opposition and, like I said, some grandstanding about his nomination, he's going to be part of helping our world go from dark to light and some of those agencies to get cleaned up of corruption. And I wish they get shut down. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm all for doing away with a lot of those agencies and expanding the U.S. Marshal Service, which was legislated, whereas other entities like the FBI were created with executive orders and they can be done away with by them also. Okay, two more cards. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. Three of Swords. That's a card that says there's going to be some untruths that are in the near future. We're going to be told some. Again, we were told to use our discernment. Just kind of know that they're coming down with maybe a narrative that's not true, but could potentially be believable, even if it's not accurate. Use your discernment. The Two of Wands always talks about looking out a path, a new way for the entire world. And the path is clear. We haven't started on it yet, but again, that Wheel of Fortune is turning. So even though we've got the Three of Swords showing up here, I think it's just more advisory of, the Team Dark is not going to stop doing dark things or coming up with narratives that aren't true, but certainly do capture attention, distract, what have you. So use your emotional intelligence in dealing with those as they, get into our consciousness. Let's recap. Kash Patel has not yet been confirmed as through the Senate confirmation process, but it is ongoing and hopefully will be resolved fairly soon. And he was asked by Senator Grassley recently about that organization that the media refers to as 17 and on. We discussed how there is no such thing as 17 and on. There is 17. There are regular people that are considered anons, including myself, because I look at information and try to apply logic to it. And that's basically what it is. There's no organization, there's no dues, there's no sign-up sheets, there's no anything else. Well, one of the 17 posts said to trust Grassley, and Senator Grassley was the one that raised that question, which Mr. Patel was able to answer honestly and kind of distance himself from that term. Yet at the same time, he's very obviously and publicly wearing some pretty fancy cufflinks that have a 17th letter of the alphabet on them, superimposed over the American flag. I thought they were gorgeous personally. So we wanted to know, was this deliberate? Was this just part of it? Was this, something that was planned to alleviate questions about 17 and on and Kash Patel, and we got a definite yes on that. Absolutely. We also got that in the near future, he is going to be part of helping our world to get lighter and brighter. So that was good. The he's got a lot of energy for the job. This showed up as the current, so I see nothing other than a little more grandstanding and some people that want to go on the record as saying they don't feel good about the nomination or what have you. But I don't see that it's not going to happen. We were told also the one advisory card was that, and this was farther into the near future, the falsehoods will continue. Use your discernment, use your logic, and decide who to believe, what to trust, and what to put in that not yet pile. I've said several times, I'll say it again, I seldom dismiss any information completely, but I often say I'm not ready to accept it yet. I want confirmation from a second source. I want to learn more. I'm not buying it yet. So I use the word yet a lot instead of, oh, no way. And so when we hear some of these narratives coming out that sound pretty believable, or, they really tend to distract and avert our focus from X, Y, or Z. Use your logic, use your discernment, and see what you decide might be the truth. Or feel free to say, I'm not buying it yet, because I do on many, many things. That's it for this video. So what's in a name? Well, apparently, if you don't name it right, it's not a problem to say, no, I'm not part of that. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. So, and it looks like that's exactly what happened in those Senate hearings. So my best wishes to Kash Patel and any nominees for high position that President Trump has proposed. They should, he got the popular vote, he got the electoral vote, and he should be able to get the people in positions he wants, because there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of positive change to be made. Don't you think? I do. Well, that's it for this video. And until next time, if you're willing to receive it, as always, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.